Dustin Hoffman. You know he's won 2 Oscars. Kramer versus Kramer and Rayman received just about every honor in the business, including the Kennedy Center honor just this year. He joins us now to talk about his first stint behind the camera. So great to have you here. Welcome to the madness of GMA.
Thank you.
So I have to ask you, what took you so long? You've been acting for decades. This is your first time as a director in Quartet.
Well, you know, I would develop stuff like every other actor, or anyone who has the hope of having something made from their own idea, and I would put it aside to make a movie, and then the movie would be over. I'd come back to it. But I guess the most important part of it is when you're in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, you think you've got all the time in the world. Suddenly you're 75, you say,
gotta do it,
or get off the pot.
And this is such a lovely story. It's called Quartet. It's about a group of retired opera singers. 3 of them live together, but then they come together for this performance in honor of Verdi. And you got to work with some amazing actors, including Maggie Smith.
Yes. She actually came with the project, so I'm not sure she would have agreed with me being a first time, but she was already in there, and Tom Courtney came with it.
And you chose one clip that you wanted everyone to see. Tell us about it.
Well, Maggie plays someone not unlike Maria Callas, and she's an ex-diva, and now she's no longer has any money, and she has to go to this retirement home, and she loathes it, of course, and she's being shown around by this gal who she used to sing with, Pauline Collins.
Nice hips, move those hips. Side to side now, shake it, ladies, shake it.
This is not a retirement home, this is a madhouse.
The horror on her face.
Well, I decided after I took the project that I wanted to use real ex-opera singers and musicians, and that's who surrounds Maggie and the other stars. And that guy is an ex-musician, and I didn't direct him to do that.
You didn't do this?
He took one look at Maggie and he made a move.
Who can blame him, right? You did bring so much fun to this, but you also have some important things to say the whole film does about the whole process of aging.
You want an answer?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, Michael Strahan is an example. I guess an athlete, faces it more dramatically than an opera singer. What they both have is a short shelf life. What is it for an athlete to be a star in high school, college, pro, and then suddenly he wakes up one morning and it ain't the same. He's just, even if it's that much less flexibility. And with an opera singer is you start to lose your voice at a certain point. And to be on that height and have that role until suddenly, like a guillotine, you can no longer perform on that level, but want to, I thought was rather moving.
And you're still performing that level every day. And I have to say, it was so moving to see you moved at the Kennedy Center Honors when everyone was paying tribute to, especially your friend, Robert De Niro. That must have been an amazing moment.
Yeah, I was set for, you psych yourself. You say, okay, I'm going to the Kennedy Center. I'm going to meet the president, the first lady. I'm going to sit there. They have it every year. And I'm going to be all right. I'm going to hold myself together, even though at my age I cry at the weather reports.
All of us did today.
You don't know who's going to be there. You don't pick anybody. So when De Niro came out, I was wondering if he was doing it for one of the other honorees. And suddenly he starts talking about me, and we've known each other for years. We're very good friends. But, you don't talk about acting. You talk about everything else. You don't say, gee, you were great and such and such. And suddenly he starts talking about me in terms of what he feels about me as an actor, and it was very moving. What he did say, which was interesting, is, and this is very De Niro, is that I think on the 4th film we made together, which was one of the Fokker movies, in the middle of the day, out of nowhere, he always starts the sentence off with, so, as if he's picking up from something from yesterday, So he says, so do you remember 1969? I said, well, what do you mean, Bob? He says, well, this is Bob. He says, well, there was like some benefit dinner or something. Maybe McCarthy was running for president. You were there. I said, oh, yeah, vaguely. On Second Avenue restaurant? I said, okay, why are you telling me this? He says, I was your waiter.
Wow. That is pretty cool.
I said, so what, did we meet? He says, yeah, the first thing you said to me is, how's the flounder?
Well, you've both come a long way since then. Dustin Hoffman, thanks a lot.
Thank
the
you.
movie is called Quartet. It is fantastic. It expands to theaters nationwide this Friday.